I'm going to share an example of an actual intervention with you. And this would fall into the category of a human process intervention. As you know, I work as an internal consultant, and I am frequently asked to intervene, right, on behalf of different departments or facilities within our organization to help the leaders change some part of the organization from its current state to a hoped for, perceived better future state. And one of the things in manufacturing, well, the thing that we are most concerned with in manufacturing is safety. When you make stuff and you use great big machines and there's a lot of people working on them, it can be very dangerous. And we leave no stone unturned. We do everything humanly possible to make our manufacturing environments as safe as possible. But people are people make mistakes, and utopia is not possible, so we continually trying to get better and better. Now, the intervention. So I received a phone call from one of our facility leaders. And the facility leader said, I want you to come to my plant, my facility, and I want you to lead my senior leadership team through a whole day on safety improvements and innovations. And my response to that leader was, I think you've got the wrong guy. I'm not a safety expert. He said, that's why I want you to do it. Now, of course, I have a business relationship with this person, and he knows what I'm capable of. And he finished the sentence. He said, the reason I want you to do it is just exactly for that, because you don't know anything about safety. He says, you're unbiased. And so I want you to come and do it. And I said, well, I'll do that. I'll do that if you'll agree to a couple things. Okay, first of all, you let me design what the meeting looks like. Second of all, that we position this as your meeting that I'm facilitating on behalf of you. Because the last thing I want to do is, I do not want to get between the leader's authority with his direct reports. I want to be there to support the leader and help build his capability as a leader, right, rather than become a surrogate for the leader. So he agreed to that. And I chose to use a particular intervention. The intervention that I chose to use was something we call a particular technique, right? It's something we call appreciative inquiry. Now, you've read about and been studying the different change models. Of course, we have the Lewin's model, and you have the action research model you've studied, and you've also studied the positive model. Now, you know, of course, those three models, the authors of your textbook took them and created another model, which is the one we're really working with. We call it the general model of plan change. But back to this positive model. Well, the positive model's been around a long time, and it has spawned certain techniques, one of which is called appreciative inquiry. So here's how it went. So I brought all these leaders in the room, including senior leadership team and also members of our union, okay, union leaders. So we've got people who have dogs in the fight. They have many different opinions. So when I facilitated the meeting, I followed this format. I said, number one, we're going to talk, and we're going to break out, and we're going to think, and we're going to work, and we're going to do it in increments. The first increment is this. I want all of you to break out in groups of 4 or 5 people, and I want you to make a list and flip chart it of everything that's going well. Going well, right? You are not allowed to speak about anything that's going bad. Now, you'll get to do that later, but first round, only things are going well. And they break out for an hour or so, and we have groups of 5, I think it was, reporting on all the things that are going well. We put the flip charts on there, and it surprised everybody in the whole place. But lots and lots of things were going well. Because, of course, when you come to a meeting like this, you know you want to fix things. Let's find out what's wrong. But I wouldn't let them think that way. Appreciative inquiry says, let's appreciate what's going well first. And then, okay, I said, all right. Now, before we talk about things that are going wrong, let's take a look at all these things that are going well. Let's break out again for another hour in your team. And I want you to think about ways that you can make those things that are going well go even better. And an hour later, surprise, there are a whole bunch of great ideas to take what's already going well and make it better. Now, the whole first couple hours are all extremely positive, won't let anybody bring anything negative up. If they do, I put it on a parking lot, right? Won't talk about it. Then I say, all right, let's break out again. This time you get to dig down and find out all the stuff that's going wrong. So they did, and they came out an hour later and they had a list of things that they didn't think were going very well. Then I said, okay, before we get to any solutions, let's cross-reference our list. Break out again, and I want you to identify if any of these things are going wrong. We'll look at all the others' reports and find out, has somebody already solved this problem? Do we have an example of excellence already somewhere in the facility? And if we do, then we may already have an answer for you. So they did that, and guess what? We crossed off a whole bunch of the things that are going wrong, and we could see we already had, at least in some areas, the answer for that. So now our what's going wrong list was much smaller. And then the last round, he said, look, you can't change everything. You've got a lot of stuff here you want to work on. You've got to prioritize. I said, no, I can't do that for you. That's something you have to do and your leader has to do. So I'm going to step off the stage now. I'm going to bring in up the facility leader, and you all are going to work out your action steps. What are you going to do going forward? So I stepped away. They did that. They identified out of their list of things they need to work on their top priorities. He actually assigned people to work as leaders on those top priorities, so they had direct responsibility for affecting them across the entire organization. That's an example of a technique called appreciative inquiry. That's just one of many, many tools, techniques that OD practitioners have to work with. But it's a good one, and I thought sharing an example like that might give you a sense for what it's like, actually practicing day to day.